The following program is underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.
Hi, and welcome to the June 2024 Bourne Review. I'm Susan Barlow. First, for some headline news and announcements. Chief Cody of the Bourne Fire Department has retired. Thank you for your 31 years of service to the town of Bourne. Assistant Chief Dave Palonzi will take command as Acting Fire Chief, and Deputy Chief Joe Carrera will take command as Assistant Chief. Some excellent museum exhibits are happening this summer in Bourne. The Cape Cod Military Museum has a D-Day exhibit and its ties to Cape Cod at the Bourne Historical Center, 30 Keene Street. It runs through August 31st. Admission is free and it's open on Fridays and Saturdays from noon to 3. The exhibit includes models, photos, uniforms, and other memorabilia, and stories of how Cape Cod played a pivotal role in D-Day. The Briggs McDermott House, located at 22 Sandwich Road across from the library, kicks off their summer season with the exhibit Bourne Brides, representing years of fashion and style. Bridal gowns and attire of Bourne ladies will be displayed throughout the house. Examples have been selected from their own textile collection, as well as those graciously loaned. The exhibit is displayed through August 31st. The Briggs McDermott House is open to the public Fridays and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. There's no admission fee, but donations are always welcome. The Community Preservation Committee and the Open Space Committee held a joint meeting with Town Administrator Marlene McCullum on June 12th regarding maintenance of open space parcels. The Leary property off County Road, the Lyons property off Uptuxet Road, Canal Crossways in Buzzards Bay, and Monument Neck Road. The properties are said to be overgrown with grass and poison ivy and possibly home to ticks, reducing the public's ability to enjoy them. Volunteers have been helping with maintenance as much as possible, but are unable to maintain the numerous properties acquired by the town over the years. June 20th was Quahog Day. The 16th annual Quahog Day took place at the Chart Room in Katomet with Cape's meteorological mollusk Doug the Quahog. Doug the Quahog arrived by boat and whispered his prediction into the ear of Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce CEO Paul Nazuki. On this perfect summer day, Doug the Quahog predicted 72 days of sunshine ahead. Yay! Well, remember, school's out for summer. June 15th was the last day of school for Bourne students. Please slow down and be aware that more families and children are on our streets as well as tourists during the day and evening. We have lots of narrow streets without sidewalks and with blind turns, so slow down and share the road with pedestrians and cyclists. The end of the school year was also a goodbye to Bourne Intermediate School Principal Jane Norton. Principal Norton retired, and we give her a huge thanks and best wishes for a very happy retirement. The Bourne Historical Society, along with the Jonathan Bourne Public Library and the Bourne Wareham Race Amity Group, celebrated Juneteenth at the museums at Uptuxet. The celebration featured a reading of the Frederick B. Douglass speech of 1852, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July." The speech was read aloud by 19 volunteers who had practiced their parts in the weeks prior to Juneteenth. Attendees were treated to a free barbecue and sweets. Funding for the project was from a $2,000 grant from the Mass Humanities Foundation. The Massachusetts Cultural Council grant is offered every year to support readings of Frederick Douglass's speech. Maureen Dunn, a longtime member of the Historical Society, brought the grant to the group's attention. Her hope was to bring everybody together and unite the community, something everyone could be involved with. On Saturday, June 22nd, the Historical Society held its annual Strawberry Festival at Uptuxet. Tents and chairs and tables were set up on the lawn, and people enjoyed hot dogs and sausages from the grill and delicious homemade shortcakes topped with homemade whipped cream. I know the whipped cream was fresh and homemade because my husband was one of the 5 whippers creating it. It was a great turnout of about 700 visitors purchasing 500 strawberry shortcakes. Kids were entertained with face painting by Jay Baker, making crafts in the windmill, painting strawberries on small rocks in the pavilion, which helped to deter birds from eating real strawberries planted in your garden. There were all kinds of vendors, including make-your-own tie-dye t-shirt, handmade jewelry, handmade handbags, and items for the garden. There was also a demonstration of spinning wool. The Bourne Sandwich Rotary Club held its first car show at the Upper Cape Tech School campus on June 18th. The shows are lots of fun with great oldies hits playing in the background. The car show is free. Car shows are held every other Tuesday night throughout the summer, and they offer burgers and hot dogs and other food and drink items prepared by the Bourne Sandwich Rotary Club. All proceeds will benefit the Rotary Club. The Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority has announced its Smart Dart program, which is similar to Uber. It's now in effect throughout Cape Cod. Download the Smart Dart app and order a ride which should arrive in about 30 minutes and will take you within the town of Bourne limits for a $3 fixed fare. Like Uber, it is a cashless system, so you'll need to download the app. For more information about this service and the many services offered by the Cape Cod RTA, such as free bus transportation on fixed routes for those 60 years and older and those with disabilities using their new GO card, and transportation to Boston hospitals for $15 one way, $30 round trip. Visit capecodrta.org. Here's an update on striper fishing in the canal by East End Eddie Doherty, a retired Massachusetts court clerk magistrate appointed by the late Governor A. Paul Cellucci, author of 7 Miles After Sundown about surf casting the Cape Cod Canal for striped bass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cape Cod Canal. Fishing on the canal has been hot or cold depending on the day. Just like always, it's hit or miss sometimes, and so but June started off pretty well. Vito Massico and his father Vinny came from Long Island and did well one day. They come here quite often. They come here often enough to be characterized as true canal rats. And Vinny, they both caught some fish that day, but Vinny caught his biggest fish was a 19-pounder, and his son Vito caught a 28-pound striper. So congratulations to them. That was great. Vito's a corrections officer at Sing Sing, the famous prison on Long Island in New York, where Lucky Luciano and a lot of infamous criminals did time. And it's always good to see Vito here. He's a great guy. I just want to remind everybody that the the size of a keeper now is the same as last year. Keeper striped bass is 28 inches to less than 31 inches. And so if it's other than that, if it measures other than that, you have to put it back on the water gently. Then, toward the middle of June, it pretty much died down, and we were in the doldrums for a couple of weeks. Nobody was catching fish. And then the biggest action we saw was a whale swimming in the East End. And then right after that, Matt Sater saved us. He hooked into an 18-pound striper one morning, a mid-morning tide. Matt's only 15 years old, and he's a great kid, so I was happy he caught that 18-pounder. He started off a good week. And then Slapshot Scotty Ewell caught a 35 and a 45-inch with a White Magic swimmer. And that was at the tail end of a east flood tide. I was fishing one day, excuse me, next to Mike Dick, who's a nice guy, and Mike was casting so far, he looked like the second coming of Ron Ara. This lure was just flying across the canal. He was throwing a 3.5 ounce Yozuri Green Mac Hydro Monster Shot. What a mouthful that is. But he hooked into a 40-inch striper that day. It was about halfway down into the water column, and so that was a nice fish, 40 inches. I caught a 37-inch striper with a striper gear Green Mac Rocket. I was on a breaking tide between some real serious downpours where rain was all over us, and that fish fought way above his weight. It was 37 inches, but when I was reeling it in, during the fight, I thought it was probably about 42, 43 inches. And one day, Bob Bull McKinnon, who's a well-known canal rat, he had a 3-day topwater bite, and Bull caught 34 fish in 3 days, and the biggest one was a 22-pounder on his, I think his favorite lure is a Wally's Green Mac pencil, and so I was happy for Bull. He's a great guy. And so there's a lot of great fishermen on the canal, and you know, so I just want to run through a list of guys who have caught slots or better. A slot is the keeper, 28 to less than 31. So these guys have caught slots or better. Tim Hollywood Petrarca, Bucktail Billy Jenkinson, John Doble, Todd Bluefish Benedict, Polly the Painter Gravina, Dancing Ben Famino, Breaking Bob Ware, Everyday Al Mazico, California Joe Gray, and the top hook of the month goes to a famous guy, Bill and the Grill Prados. He caught a 31-pound striper, and it was the fish was riding the tide towards Cape Cod Bay, and Bill was using a Green Mac Striper Maniac pencil. These are made by a guy from Maine, so he named it Maniac, Striper Maniac, and this fish just exploded on Bill's lure and splashing water and shooting spray all over the place. It looked like a car wash, and you know, it's typical. The most fun catching a striper is on the surface. That's the most exciting way to catch a fish, because they just explode on that lure, and this one was no exception. So congratulations to Bill and the Grill. Nice job. Just a few announcements. This evening family fishing clinic is coming up. It's a free clinic July 18th from 5 to 8 at the Cape Cod Visitors Center in the East End. 60 Ed Moffett Drive in Sandwich. It's sponsored by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Division of Marine Fisheries. And the Marine Fisheries Division will have staff there to teach people how to fish. And there's no experience necessary, and they're going to provide the gear and the bait. You have to register though, and that should be a good event for especially people just learning how to fish. It'd be a nice thing for the family. Jack Creighton, who was he's a retired chief of police. He used to work over next to the district I worked in, and he fishes the canal, and he's a past president of Cape Cod Salties, and he won the flounder derby for the month of May. Caught an 18-inch flounder for that club. That's just for the month of May, but that's a nice fish, Jack. I'm sure that was very tasty. And they honored the late Sergeant Dick White at the Bourne Scenic Park. Dick was a great guy. He was a friend of mine. He was a sergeant with the state police who lost his battle with cancer last year. And he actually started as a Bourne police officer, but they named a road after Dick at the Bourne Scenic Park, because the streets in there have street names, and it's a nice ceremony, and a well-deserved honor for Dick and for his family. He was with the Attorney General's office and did several other jobs, and was just a really nice man that I had lunch with a lot, and I really enjoyed his company. Anyways, my tip of the month is that there are 2 pole 50s, and so the poles on the canal are run in sequence of 5. So at the east end, it actually starts with 10. I never knew why it didn't start with 5, but it goes 10, 15, 20, 25, all the way to the west end where it's 375. And so these poles are pretty much the same on both sides. But when the guy who was, I assume, working for the Army Corps of Engineers, who put those signs on the poles, must have lost track of what he was doing, and so he made two pole 50s. So it goes 45, 50, then 50 again, and then it goes to 55. So if you want to meet one of your friends and tell them to meet you at pole 50 at 2 o'clock in the morning, make sure you tell them which 50. Or if you record your catches, like a lot of fishermen do, and you put down what pole you caught a fish at, just make sure you get the right 50. So until next time, enjoy yourself, be safe, and catch a big one.
Want your nice canal catch mentioned? Email the details to eastendeddie789@yahoo.com. Having trouble finding a place to buy a cup of coffee in Bourne? Haha, that's a joke. A new Starbucks coffee shop opened in the old Friendlies near the Sagamore Bridge. This is the second Starbucks in Bourne. The other one is located off Belmont Circle at the Bourne Bridge. Both have drive-thrus. A brand new Dunkin' Donuts is being constructed on MacArthur Boulevard near the Stir Crazy restaurant. Now for our top stories. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren stripped the funding of the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee bill. The funding requested an extension on the $9.7 million that the Army National Guard requested for their proposed multi-purpose machine gun range on Joint Base Cape Cod. U.S. Representative Bill Keating had stripped funding from the bill under consideration by the U.S. House of Representatives Armed Services Committee last month. The Association to Preserve Cape Cod has warned that the Guard hasn't stopped planning the multi-purpose machine gun range and is putting forth a revised plan. So visit apcc.org for more information. The ongoing Pocasset Shore Park project has now completed Phase 1 of the project, which began 4 years ago. A set of stairs has been completed to make kayak launching safer and easier. A parking area, a fence, and grass have also been completed. Phase 2 will include a small gazebo and a cement pad and kayak rack for residents to use, hopefully completed in the fall. Lastly, a blueberry patch will be created in the park. Here's what's happening downtown. Liberty Liquors owner Archit Patel made a request to the Board of Sewer Commissioners for an additional 22,000 gallons for the construction of a hotel and residential units at the liquor store location 21 St. Margaret Street. It will be a mixed-use development, and the redevelopment plan will include the liquor store. Mr. Patel and Tim Power of PVI Site Development have not gone before the Planning Board or the Zoning Board of Appeals yet, but are getting their wastewater allocation request in early. So there's a long way to go before this project will receive the green light for construction. Mr. Patel purchased Liberty Liquors just last October from Richard Rimsha. Work continues at the intersection of Main Street and Academy Drive. The goal is to slow traffic that often enters Main Street at high speed coming from Wareham, and to make the crosswalk safer and more noticeable by combining crosswalks into a large crosswalk with a different color and texture. Concerts by the Canal start July 11th. Here's the lineup. July 11th, the ever-popular Midnight Society plays rock and roll, and it will take to the gazebo at Buzzards Bay Park at 6 p.m. Please note that the concerts will begin at 6, a half an hour earlier than previous years. On July 18th, Rock Steady, a Bad Company cover band, performs. On the 25th, it's 19th Nervous Breakdown, playing Rolling Stones songs. On August 1st, it's the Reminiscents playing 50s, 60s, and 70s classics. August 8th, it's Band of Brothers playing classic rock. August 15th, Indigo Shores plays top 40 hits. And August 22nd, the Faye Band plays classic rock. August 29th is the rain date. Bring your chairs or a blanket, sit back and relax in beautiful Buzzards Bay Park at the train bridge between Main Street and the Cape Cod Canal. Remember, concerts are 6 to 8 p.m. Kids love the splash pad and playground at this park, so bring the whole family and have some fun. The DPW has committed to watering the new planters on Main Street. Bourne has 10 new planters on Main Street in addition to the 4 extra large planters that the town purchased last year, and they flank the entrance to Buzzards Bay Park and Town Hall. The planters are ideal because they have a self-watering feature that requires less frequent watering. All the planters have been planted by the Uptuxet Garden Club of Bourne and have been adorned with flags in honor of Independence Day. On June 12th, the Uptuxet Garden Club held its biennial dinner and installation of officers at the Pecasset Country Club, where a new board of directors was voted in, and Jan Rogers was selected as Uptuxet Garden Club president. To join the Uptuxet Garden Club or for more information about the club, visit uptuxetgardenclub.com. Here's an update on town services. Well, summer is here and the lifeguards are on our beaches. The kids' summer program's in full swing. There's fun is just beginning with Bourne Recreation Department. There's pickleball for those 18 years and older. Lots of programs are available through the partners Straight Up Pickleball. There's a beginner pickleball clinic on July 11th and July 18th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at Chester Park. For more information, visit Bourne Rec to sign up. The restoration of the hard courts at Clark, Keith, Pecasset, and Katomet Schoolhouse are on schedule and almost complete. Power washing at all 4 locations is complete. Keith and Katomet Schoolhouse, right-way repairs and slurry coat is complete. At Clark and Pecasset, cracks have been filled and right-way crack repair is underway. Next step, slurry coat application at Clark, Pecasset, and finally, resurfacing at all 4 locations. Bourne will be looking good and playing hard. On July 8th through July 11th, it's Canalman Hoop School with Coach Scott Ashworth. For grades 4 through 8, time is 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Meet up at the Bourne High School gym. On Monday, July 29th through Thursday, August 1st from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for grades 4 through 8, it's the Summer Volleyball Clinic. Bourne High School JV coach Cassie and her team of incredible athletes will lead this summer clinic for the 3rd year. It's a great opportunity for potential Lady Canalmen to meet their future coaches. Participants of all skill levels are welcome. Meet up at the Bourne High School gym. On Wednesday, July 24th from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Buzzards Bay Park Pavilion, it's Family Paint Night. Gulls just want to have fun will be the theme of this painting. The cost is $25 per person. There's a few reminders from the Bourne Recycling Center. Please do not include any hoses, ropes, or any other items that can cause tangling in the recycling machinery. Either repurpose those items or put them in the trash. Styrofoam is sadly not recyclable, so also put that in the trash. And don't bag your recyclables. If you collect them in a bag, please empty out the bag into the blue-lidded container. When putting the 2 barrels out, place them 3 feet apart. Do not put textiles in the trash. There are containers at the Bourne Recycling Center specifically for textiles, as well as containers in the parking lots of the Bourne Public Schools. If clothing is in good condition, please donate it to one of the local charities or thrift shops, such as, to name a few, the St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Shop, the St. Margaret's Attic Treasures Gift Shop on St. Margaret Street in Buzzards Bay, the thrift shop at the Bourne United Methodist Church on Sandwich Road, or the drop box at the food pantry on Main Street.
What are you doing?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Aria. What is that? I am getting ready for the very cool events on Mondays. We are doing Mind and Body Mondays for the adults during the summer here at the Bourne Public Library. So next Monday, the 8th, we'll do Healthy Eating for Less. The 15th and the 22nd of July, we're doing that thing I can't always pronounce right.
Judo?
Close. I could say judo. Qigong.
Qigong.
So the first one is from 10 to 11 on July 15th. The second one is July 22nd. Then the following 2 weeks later, on August 5th and August 12th, we're doing meditation. Let me back up. There's a lot going on this summer. Kathy and I are not going to be able to cover it all. So I really recommend that you go to bournelibrary.org and look at our event calendar. But we're going to highlight some of the themes. So the Mondays is Mind and Body Mondays.
Right.
Basically, that's what you need to know about Mondays.
On Tuesday, July 9th, from 2 to 3, we're learning about the pollinator garden, which is right outside our door here. And pollinators, it's become a big thing because we have real problems with our bees and everything. So we are trying to help the bees and other pollinators. So that's 2 to 3 on the 9th of July.
Okay, and then on Wednesdays, Wednesday, July 10th, we have Build Wave. And you say, Build Wave, what do we like? Surfing. This is going to be a great program. It's for ages kindergarten and up. And what it is, I would have loved this as a kid. It's a bag of stuff. Legos, all kinds of building materials, and you have to build something with the bag that you get.
This one sounds really fun. We have story time with the Bourne Braves, but it is going to be at the dugout at Dorn Park.
Oh, fun.
There'll be baseball-themed stories read by the Bourne Braves, so I think that would be really cool.
Our Library of Things has 6 camping chairs if you need to borrow a chair to sit outside.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I figured why not.
Yeah. So the Library of Things is open. So
Business has been brisk thanks to the article in the Cape Cod Times. We've had the sewing machine has gone out 3 times already.
Wow.
The soil testing kit and the badminton set so far in just 4 days. Fridays, we resume our story hours at Uptuxet. They love sponsoring with us. If you've been over there, you know that it's just a story walk around the perimeter. They have the nice shady area. The restrooms are open. And that's going to be every Friday, starting at 10 a.m. at Uptuxet Trading Post. And you will not need to pre-register for that. Other fun things for the summer, museum passes. There's plenty of passes. You can now book them online. And many, many of them have changed the way they do it, that you only need the code on your phone now. You no longer have to come drive over the bridge the day before, get the hard pass, come back, return it. So it's really become a very streamlined process. Don't forget that you can always call us if you live on the other side of the bridge or you just don't feel like it. Call us and we are willing to drive to Town Hall and drop off your holds.
Our Tuesday concerts in the garden are back. Starting on July 16th, we have I Choose Happiness. Me too. So
Me 3.
Then on the 23rd, we have Denya and Julie. On the 30th, we have Scott Ouellette, who I know he's been popular here. And then on the 6th of August, Matt York, who's been here many times. Everyone loves him. So those are Tuesdays at 6:30 here in the garden. Summer concerts. Free.
If it's free,
It's fun.
it's fun. There you go. All right. Other than that, call us with any questions. And we'll be happy. We also still have Tech Tuesdays. There's still a lot going on. So just those are the highlights.
The Bourne Council on Aging held its annual Volunteer Appreciation Luncheon on Thursday, June 20th. Select Board members Peter Meyer, Jean Azarovitz, and former Select Board member George Slade cooked burgers and veggie burgers out on the grill for everyone. Served up by Council on Aging staff with Chef Jean Lanahan's fabulous potato salad and cake. U.S. Congressman Bill Keating presented Beverly Armando with the Volunteer of the Year Award. She has worked at the Council on Aging since 2013, greeting all who enter at the front desk. She served on the Council on Aging Advisory Board for several years. Congratulations and thank you for all your work and for making visitors and members feel so welcome. Speaking of Chef Lanahan, check out the delicious offerings for lunch served at the Bridge Cafe, open to seniors 60 years and older every Wednesday and Thursdays from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Or come by in the mornings 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays to pick up delicious muffins and coffee for just $2. A Veterans Coffee Hour will be held on July 10th at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sherry Best will lead a drum circle at 1:30 p.m. on July 15th. On July 17th from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. enjoy a coffee chat at the Council on Aging. Also on July 17th from 12:30 to 2 p.m. enjoy a free ice cream social. To register for events or for more information, call 508-759-0600, extension 5300. There's much more programming at the Council on Aging, and you can see a list of all their activities. Go to townofbourne.com/Council on Aging. Here's a look at the calendar. The 10th Annual Cape Cod Hydrangea Festival is happening July 5th through the 14th. 100 private gardens are on the tour this year, from Falmouth all the way to Eastham. A garden visit costs $5 per garden per person. Gardens are open for viewing from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Visit CapeCodHydrangeaFest.com for days to visit. The Barnstable County Fair is held at the Cape Cod Fairgrounds located at 1220 Nathan Ellis Highway, which is Route 151, from Monday, July 22nd through Sunday, July 28th. For information and tickets, visit CapeCodFairgrounds.org. Here's the lineup of performers on the main stage. On Monday, July 22nd, it's Jake Hoot, winner of Season 17 of The Voice, a country music artist who frequently plays at the Grand Ole Opry. The concerts begin at 7:30 p.m. On Tuesday, July 23rd, it's Journey's former lead vocalist Steve O'Gary, playing the songs that made Journey famous. On Wednesday, July 24th, it's the Demolition Derby in the main arena. That show starts at 7 p.m. On Thursday, July 25th, Nashville's platinum artist Matt Stell takes the stage at 7:30. On Friday, July 26th at 7:30, it's direct from Sweden, the music of ABBA. They will deliver the closest ABBA experience you'll ever get, with some of Sweden's most experienced and talented singers and musicians playing 100% live music. On Saturday, July 27th, Asia with John Payne takes the stage at 7:30 p.m. And on Sunday at 7 p.m., it's the Box Tops. You can buy your tickets online or at the gate. Bourne Newcomers and Neighbors will hold their annual beach party on July 16th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Hens Cove Beach. This is for BNN members only. If you are interested in joining Bourne Newcomers and Neighbors, visit bournenewcomers.org. BNN is also planning a trip to the Highfield Hall in Falmouth to see A Little Night of Music performed by the College Light Opera Company on August 13th at 7:30 p.m. Here are some wonderful photos taken by area photographers showing the beauty that surrounds us. subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with what's happening in Bourne. Your company or organization can become an underwriter. It's a great way to spread the word about your business or organization. Send an email to info@bournetv.com for more information. Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of the Bourne Review, and I'll see you next time.
The preceding program was underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.